Okay, now we're going to solder in the valve. What you want to make sure you do here is you want to make sure everything's clean by cleaning all this stuff, the wire brush. Once you get all your pieces clean, which I've already done, you set them up. What I like to do is this valve is going to need plumber's putty. Teflon tape, my mistake. You want to wrap it the same direction it threads so that way you don't rip the tape, damage the seal. I like to go around it 3 or 4 times. Most of the time these valves stay up, so you know which direction they go in. You want to make sure the hot's on the right side, cold's on the right side, so you don't have problems. Hot's always on the left. One important thing to consider when you're doing this is you need to pull the guts out of the valve so you don't damage it when you solder. Otherwise the O-rings will melt and you'll end up with a leak. So let's get these all wrapped. Okay, now on this left side, I'm going to go ahead and unwrap that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to solder that side right in, because that is another option. So let's get these screwed in. Take this guy. Adjust your channel locks. Get this nice and tight. Tighter the better. You don't want it to leak later. Some people use plumber's putty or thread compound on this stuff. I tend to use Teflon tape. I feel that lasts a little bit longer. Nice tight seal here. Let's crank down on it a little bit. You can stand on the valve. Hope we get tighter. Alright, now let's get the other ones on. That is for the top. Okay. That one's on. On the side, what I'm going to do, I've already cleaned these joints, but you want to make sure you get everything real clean. This one that I'm going to solder to, I'm going to put flux paste on. Also put the flux on the pipe I'm going to be soldering. You're going to slide right on there like that and get soldered. One thing you want to do here, like I said, make sure everything that's plastic inside the valve is removed. Water restrictor. Get everything out of there. Pre-soldered a couple pieces. It's not good to solder close to the Teflon tape because you'll melt it. So I've already pre-soldered some extensions. I'm going to use the water in the toilet to cool them off since the water's off. Once they're cool, so we can hold on to them. Get them in the toilet. Now they're nice and cool. And we can screw these on as well. So make sure you get these nice and tight. Last thing you want is a leak behind your ball. That one's good. Let's see what we can do about this one. Go ahead and check these other ones. Make sure they're as tight as you want them. Seem good to me. So, put some flux on this. Flux the inside of all these joints, which I've already cleaned. Flux this guy. Flux him. Okay, now that we've got flux on everything, go ahead and slide it in place. I'm going to take these fittings apart and flux them as well. I try to get it all dry fit and fluxed so that way when I solder it, I don't have to take anything apart, everything fits right. Pre-cut these pieces, basically all you do to cut them, measure where the fitting is going to be, make sure it's nice and straight, and cut them with a tape measure and a pipe cutter. These older ones, you want a little bit of extra flux on, because they're hard to get clean. Let me get the flux on there. Put this guy on there. Make sure you flux them. Can't use too much flux. You want to make sure this stuff is clean. If there's impurities, that's a spot for your solder to not stick. Solder doesn't stick, you have a leak. Make sure you get these down all the way. There we go. Get it facing the direction you want. Sometimes it's easier to stick a tube in. And that. Flux both sides of it. Now when you get these valves, they tell you how far to set everything back. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations and you set everything back to the spot that they tell you to. And they always look great. One thing you want to keep in mind here, on this valve, the tub spout slides over a fitting. So you can go ahead and just solder a straight piece of pipe. But again, read the directions